Are you all still there? It's gone all funny. It says, oh, there you go. You're back again. Okay. Hi, Mark. So the question from Cedric is, how do you consider thoughts when it shows up? How do you manage them? But it says bon appetit. Thank you. I'm eating a sausage. Thoughts are just something that appear. They're another part of appearance. The assumption is, though, that those thoughts belong to you and that you are controlling them and producing them. But how? How do you produce a thought? And it would only ever be a thought and an energy as well appearing, saying, I'm going to control this thought and change this thought in some way. So how, Cedric, could you possibly change a thought when thoughts appear from absolute mystery? They come into appearance, just like everything else. But it's another thought that assumes that you think. The me dynamic is so funny, it's claiming everything. I think, therefore I am. I am, and in I am, thinking arises. This assumption of control, though, is what creates suffering. It's an energy, actually. It's an energy of I am the controller, I am the doer. And the thoughts say, I control. I am choosing to pick thoughts or look at thoughts. Hi, Nick. If you're new to Ustream, if anyone has any questions, it's best to write them through Skype, which is Lisa Cairns 12. Okay, but you think your discomfort is because of your thoughts. It's not. Thoughts appear and disappear, but here, the thoughts are normally talking about past and future, what to fix, what not to fix. Ugh, I don't know how to ask because you don't exist. This is it, guys. There's nowhere else to go. It makes sense. Don't know if there's more to say, so I will let you answer to others. There are no others asking questions. Oh, there is actually one on Ustream. Do you think the method of self-inquiry is useful? Nothing's useful. It's always this. If self-inquiry happens, that's what happens. What it leads to is absolutely irrelevant. This is what's happening. This is where the juice is. Not in where you're going to get tomorrow. That's carrying on in the dream of me. The me is always in time. So if self-inquiry happens, that's what happens. It's not right nor wrong, it's what appears. The idea that you're going to get someone is somewhere is a total daydream. A total daydream. Where are you going to get to? Where are you off to? It's always this. When's it not this? What's happening is you're imagining yourself, or the body, which isn't even you, in the future being better. That's just like imagining the money and being better with money. That's just like imagining having big boobs and being better from the big boobies, or a big dick, or a beautiful face. It's no different. It's exactly the same mechanism of me, of the me dynamic. Where's there to go? This is what's always going to be, what's happening, and the love affair is this, not the daydream of someone tomorrow. We'll never know tomorrow, we'll never know yesterday. This is what is. This. I've got quite a few questions in my email. Nick's laughing about the big boobies. The big boobies. We like the big boobies. So Cedric says, how did this shift happen within you? How that me dynamic disappeared? It's funny because what also dies in awakening is the dream that you were ever awakening, and that you had experiences of awakening. Who do you imagine this Lisa to be? The only person we can ever talk about as Lisa is somebody in time, but time always arises here, in aliveness. Time's not the actual reality, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm happy to say what happened, seemingly. But the mind is absolutely fixated with time. It's fixated with who it is in time. How can you really say that's who you are? How did Lisa awaken? Oh, thanks, Nick, for telling me that. Just so I know. Now I know. Ah, sweetie. Khaleesi. Khaleesi, sweetie. Hey. Come. So what seemingly happened was there was a moment where in Bali where suddenly the energy of amness or beingness was no longer bound to a story in time and bound to a body that collapsed. And then also at first there was an interest in talking about it, but then that too disappeared. That too became another story. And it was in Bali, and I was eating banana fritters. This one wasn't alive then. You see, look at Khaleesi. Khaleesi is such a good example of this. Is Khaleesi her past actions? Is she a dog from Thailand? To her, she has no sense of that. There's just what's happening. She has no sense that she's a body or right or wrong actions. It's only in the human dynamic that happens. And then it becomes personalised. This energy of me begins. I am someone in time, and there's this fixation on it. There can't be suffering here, right here in this. There's only ever suffering in a story. What they did to me. What's going to happen to me. Right here, there's just intensity of beingness, which is happening, funny enough, and not happening, which is in movement and absolutely still. There's never a problem here. This is the freedom that's being talked about. The me then thinks, okay, so how do I be here? Let me put effort into being here. And it's still somebody removed being here. The mind, the me, is always focused on process. Process, how to get there. What was the process? How to happen? How to do it? And there's nothing wrong with stories and time appearing and disappearing. But they're not who you are. They appear and disappear like everything else. The me energy is holding on so tightly to who it is, repeating the story of who you are again and again and again. But if that's what's happening, that's what's happening, and there's no getting out of anything. There isn't somebody in there controlling this or writing the script. It's all appearing from absolute nothingness. Emptiness. Sweetie. Hey. No. Sorry, she's not allowed to bark here. She's on a no barking policy. We live in quite tight, closed together houses. What? But she's not wrong or bad in any way, and that's not who she is, that barking. For a human, though, what will start is, how dare she tell me not to bark? It's my right to bark. There'll be a story about it. And this energetic contraction inside the body, this is who I am being invaded, and it's personal and uncomfortable. With the dog, with somebody where the me's not there, it's just coming and going, coming and going, coming and going, everything, including thoughts, including stories. There's no holding on. There's just what is. And there's no suffering in what is. Suffering is in time, with the me dynamic. But you can't get out of it, because that would be another imagination of you trying to get out of it. The non-duality is kind of magical in a way. I don't understand how it works. But there seems to be some form of knowing of this and relaxing, seemingly, of that energy. But I don't know how it works. I can't map it out for you. It's quite mysterious. The more and more I talk about it, seemingly the more and more that's seen. This is what is. There's nowhere to go. This has no meaning, there's no place, there's no purpose, there's no future event to get to that's going to be better than this. This is what is. And that's not, I'm not talking about the end of pain and pleasure. I'm talking about the end of the one that's living in time. And it's an energy thing of feeling bound inside of, I am in here. All there is everything and nothing. All there is what is. I mean, look, animals are so great to watch. My love affair as a child was always with animals. So I could just see, look, she's just eating. She's not telling a story of herself eating. I'm going to become plumpy after this. I shouldn't eat this, I'm greedy. I've already had 3 chews today. It's just eating, and there's no difference between the eaten and the eater. They're the same thing. Doesn't mean she's going to have perfect behaviour. Doesn't mean she's going to be a saint. Doesn't mean she's going to glow white gold out of her ass. It's just the simplicity of being. It's so simple. What is she eating in there? She's so gorgeous. Look at those ears. They're so big. My, what big ears you have. No, Harry. Hi, Lisa. Do you usually talk with your friends or family about non-duality? I mean, don't they consider you as crazy when talking about this? Or does talking about that just come up during your live sessions like now? I tend not to talk about it with family. I tend not to even talk about it with spiritual seekers unless they ask. Unless people are asking questions. What's there to say? I don't see people in those bodies that need saving. I don't see bodies that need to be people that need to be different. There's just what's happening. They're just expressions appearing. Doing their little dance. And I don't see myself as someone that's got a message to give them. But if a question's asked, then normally an answer will come, or a shut up, or I'm not, something will happen, or a response of some sort will happen. Most people, though, want to talk to their family about this because they want their family to stop suffering. But you're not really wanting your family to stop suffering. You want yourself to stop suffering about their suffering. That's got nothing to do with them. It's all meing projected everywhere. I want their family to not be the way they are. They want them to be different. It's too simple for the mind, but I can't do anything, so I don't know. I didn't say that you can't do anything, Cedric. I said there is no you doing anything. There is no you that's creating anything. Doing happens. This is what the mind interprets. I can't do anything is just the opposite to I can do something. It's not what I'm saying, but the mind often hears this and gets very angry with Lisa. Or very angry or frustrated. You are the illusion. Doing seemingly happens. Why don't you chew your actual toy, sweetie, rather than your bed? So, the bed is better. Damn, my daughter just said she would make some fritters. Are you saying they won't work? I love banana fritters. Oh, lots of different types of fritters. Nothing will work, Patrick. Nothing works. It's all it. If one thing worked, that would be more holy than everything else. And it's all holy. It's all holy shitness. Holy shit. No, it's all holy fuckness. Fuck. It's nice the way the English say fuck. Holy fuckness. Okay, back to the questions. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. Okay. So, this is from Linda. Just say your first name. This is from Linda. Cedric, what are you saying? Yes, yes. Okay, yes. Nothing can't be done. Okay, Linda Robinson. Dear lovely Lisa, I have a question of sorts. There is nothing but this moment, and in this moment is nothing but what's turning up, or nothing and what's turning up, and being perceived. Actually, it's not even quite being perceived. There's nothing separate from the perceiving, so it kind of cancels each other out. It's crazy, isn't it? And being a moment, it contains everything, and because there are no concepts or beliefs, it's empty or nothing. Oh, that's a question. The whole thing's a question? Okay, let's go again. There is nothing but this moment, and in this moment is nothing but what's turning up and being perceived, and being a moment, it contains everything, and because there are no concepts or beliefs, it's empty or nothing. Yeah, and then concepts or beliefs can spontaneously appear in the moment and disappear, but they no longer belong to a me entity, which has concepts and beliefs in time. This energy of me that's making the concepts and beliefs truth. So a concept, this is all there is, can appear in the moment, but then it disappears again into nothing. There's not somebody living through that concept. There's not somebody with an energy in time. This is craziness, what I talk about. It's absolute death. Absolute death. If any of the me dynamics knew what they were going in for listening to this, they would run a freaking mile. If they could actually comprehend it's the death of that one. Haha, what a tangle of words. Maybe I'm waiting to understand. I find it hard to hang on to nothing as everything. Much love and thank you for answering in advance, Linda. Yeah, maybe there's hanging on happening and you are hanging on to something and then it's gone again. And there's this. You're not going to get it, that's for sure, Linda. What happens is the me dies. You will never get this. You will never understand it. Ooh la la. Thanks, Linda. Okay, so the next one's from Cassia. Okay. Hi, how are you doing? Do you know Eckhart Tolle? I have been reading his The Power of Now recently, and something made me think. He says about karma and karma disappearing when enlightened. Does it work like this? It depends on what the concept of karma is. If you see karma as the me in time which is holding on to things, then yes. But it's not going to change the conditioning of the body or the genetics or the physicality of the body, the responses of the body. but that me energy that's holding things on into time dissolves. Until liberating, everything depends on actions and reactions, and then nothing depends on our own actions. Until liberating, so I think you mean until liberation, everything depends on actions and reactions, and then nothing depends on your own action. When and where is the thin line between our own effort and life itself? That's such a sweet question, Cassia. And that's where the juice is. There is no line. It's all one movement. Life itself and the body's action are the same thing. Which means that there is no one acting. There is no one choosing. There is no one separate from everything else. It's all one big movement. And the really crazy part of it is as that energy of the personal begins to crumble, it's seen that movement also has another side of absolute emptiness, of nothingness, that it's not moving as well. And it's all the same. I know everything is life. I am life. You are life. But is there any chance that something happening somewhere in the world is not only life itself, but also something happening because of someone's mind? No. Nothing is separate. That would imply separation. I mean, when you are enlightened, you love everything, every single manifestation of life, and you just experience this experience in the body and in these conditions. You are simply life, but can a murderer be enlightened? It's not you experiencing life. It's not you loving everything. As the me dissolves, everything's always being love. Everything is an act of love. Everything is love manifesting. Nothing manifesting, which I call love. So this is all an absolute love affair. Can a murderer be enlightened? There is no murderer. There is no separate person. It's all dependent on everything else. It's all one thing. The murderer and the saint are the same movements. The abused and the abuser are the same movement. Does he kill because he is his experience in the body in these conditions? Or does he kill because this is his rare experience, or is it caused because of his mind and his own way of thinking? It's because that's what nothingness created. That's what love created. It's full on, this subject. And it's happening in the same way that the saint happens, the same way as thoughts appear, the same way as the light, the trees, the sounds, the smells. It's all coming from nothing, appearing and disappearing back into nothing. Seemingly in the story you might find patterns which could be described as the body-mind mechanism. If it was tortured or something, and then but that's just a story. There's no freedom in a story. Stories are bondage. They're just descriptions of actions. They're not a reality. She wants to go again. We did like a 2-hour bike ride this morning. She's ready to go again. Aren't you, sweetie? You're ready to go. She's a killer. Well, I mean, dogs and humans are predators. She loves killing animals. Don't you, sweetie? And there is no me in her, I assure you. She loves killing the little miceies, the insects. But humans too are also predators. Most spiritual people are trying to deny that and be vegetarians. Look at our teeth. We are killers. We're also vegetarians as well. We've not got full predator teeth. Not like dogs. Can you guys see her? She's so lovely. Me likes to live in the story of we shouldn't be. It's wrong. We should all be vegetarians. Lap, 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 lap. Only because it wants to avoid what's happening. Like, 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 like. It is wrong. She is wrong. Oh, she's so sweet. She's laid under the table. I've forgotten what we were even talking about. Oh yeah, I was answering a question in my email box, wasn't I? Oh yeah. Are all these murderers sick paedophiles and e.g. tortures just a manifestation of life, or were they born in the mind? What does it mean? If you change your way of thinking, everything changes. Is there a field where someone can do anything in his own way? One sentence in Eckhart Tolle's book made me think very intensely. He said something like, "Aren't you a representative of kind who only in the 20th century killed over 20 million of your own representatives?" Well, as far as I understood, it's about collective awareness life. We all are life and awareness that's experiencing some experience. Who, my love? Who is the one that is choosing? Who is the one that can change its thoughts? Thoughts may seemingly change, but that's just another thought. Thoughts have changed. Couldn't be known any other way. But who is it? Is there somebody there creating thoughts? Is there somebody there creating urges? Where are you? Who is this you? Okay, so then there's more question. Hi Lisa again. I wanted to ask you about something else, but of course I forgot. Scalores is my blood sister. I'm not sure what that is. What does it mean everything is possible? There are no boundaries. My friend who is a Buddhist monk says these words sometimes, but I don't really get it. I'm not sure if it means that every single experience can be experienced by myself or by anyone, and it's not important by who, as we all are collective awareness. The oneness, or maybe it means If we are liberated and we no longer depend on our mind, then everything means absolutely nothing. And this is everything my friend truly means. I hope you understand it. Yeah, this is all there is. And in this, there is everything and nothing. So everything is possible. I wouldn't even say everything is possible. I don't even know what your friend means, but everything is. The thought of Einstein appears here. The thought of tomorrow appears here. The thought of your friend appears here. The sound of Khaleesi moving appears here. It's always this aliveness. And in this, everything appears. And seemingly everything's in movement, but there's also another side that's not moving at all. Seemingly the world of forms is always in movement. Well, that made a lot of sense, right? Okay. Okay, I answered that. This is from Asborn. Have you heard of Richard Lang and his headless way pointing back to ourselves? He was at the bus dream conference, the Dream Bus Conference. What do you think about this? Oh, I don't know. I don't really know the way he speaks. If there's attraction towards it, then that's what's happening. If he's telling you that you're going to get somewhere in the process, in the future, then it's always this. Okay, let's get going on Skype. Andreas Hanses. Hello, Andreas. Hi, Hi, I like you, Lisa. Will you add me? Love your videos. Andreas. Hi, Lisa. Life is like spring and autumn. Everything starts to blossom and will also disappear. No trace can be found, only a memory trying to display that was happening. And Guy, yes, we can talk after Ustream. I can't 100% commit to it because I don't have a garden where I live, and normally I have to take Khaleesi out pee after Ustream. So we'll see. I'll see after Ustream if we can chat for another hour or half an hour or so. So Rama, not Ramana. Rama. Lisa, I seem to go through moments of intense worrying whenever my husband's health is bad. He is type 2 diabetic and nothing helps when he is what appears to me as suffering with diabetes. I know it is the me dynamic causing suffering, but can you give your perspective on this? Thank you so much. Lisa, do you find life interesting or boring after liberation? That's so sweet, that last question, Rama, because there is such enjoyment in seeking, believe it or not, in the me dynamic. It doesn't always feel like it because there's also the opposite, the discomfort and uncomfortableness. But what drama there is, because this is all pointless. This is going nowhere. There's absolutely no point to life. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to be done. It's just life is appearing and disappearing. Forms are appearing and disappearing. Why? Because that's what's happening. And there's no goal in the future to get to. There's nowhere to be got to. But the me dynamic gives the appearance that there's some juicy drama to get to. I'm going to find the woman. I'm going to get a big house. I'm going to live till I'm 101. I'm going to travel around India. It's always searching for that thing it thinks it's missing. So it's exciting. It's searching. And it gives the appearance of separation. That you are someone in relationship with life. And what great dramas it creates. Really uncomfortable ones when the girlfriend or the husband is lost. And really great fun ones as well. But no, life isn't boring after that drops away, but it's so clear as to why that appears, because what a great drama is. But no, it's not boring because everything is interesting then. Everything is it. Instead of it being about something you're dreaming about in the future, everything becomes so freaking fascinating. So I wouldn't call it boring. It can be like high energy, and then there's nowhere particular to go with that high energy, but I wouldn't call it boring because everything becomes interesting. Everything becomes mystery again. There's no one telling a story about what's happening. It's all new again. Yeah, so with your husband, there's not really any perspective I have on that. If there's suffering arising around the husband's diabetes, then that's what's appearing. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nowhere you can go. There's no way of getting out of it. It will appear until it stops appearing. And in a way, it never started appearing. But this is where people often interpret what I say as uncompassionate. They're like, we'll give someone something to do to make them feel better. But that's what the whole of society and the whole me dynamic's based on. Give me something to make me feel better. Give me hope that tomorrow I will find it. And here, there's just no interest in playing that game with you guys. So therefore, this might be heard as really uncompassionate, and there might be a leaving and going to someone who gives a little bit of hope, which isn't wrong in any way or right, it's just what's happened. But everything dies, Rama. Everything appears and disappears, and it's painful and pleasurable and on a spectrum. Sometimes it's incredibly painful, but everybody will rot. Everything will rot. That's the nature of it. And it's not out of his discomfort, it is the discomfort. There's no getting out of it when it's there. And again, dogs are amazing for watching this. The way they give up when there's physical pain. But our society is constantly hiding death. It's constantly trying to deny it. We buy our food in nice little packages, so we don't see the suffering of the animal, we don't see the pain and the discomfort of the animal. And the same with even fruit and veg. If you want to be, oh, well, I'm a vegetarian. Fruit and veg kills animals as well. Trust me, loads of insects want to eat that fruit and veg, and they get killed. And birds. And the worms when raking up the dirt. I mean, that's the nature of the movement of things. And the freedom's not found in any control of that. That's the nature of things, they move. The love and the beauty is what's happening, is the movement. And the not movement, because there's also nothing happening simultaneously. It's all about what's happening. It's not about tomorrow or yesterday. But if images of tomorrow and yesterday appear, that's what's happening as well. It's all in this. This. Do you have anything to say or any more questions, Rama? Thank you, Lisa. I think this not wanting suffering is what causes more suffering. Like you say, it is what it is. Thank you very much for your response. There is nothing that will magically make it disappear. It is what it is. It's a hard blow for that one that hopes. But that isn't saying that you're stuck and it's hopeless, and like the me often personalizes everything and says there's nothing I can do, I'm fucked. Da, da, da. That's not what's being said in either. This is it. This is it. The freedom is here. Right here. It's always been here-ness. Just a dream of not here-ness. I love this shit. It's so beautiful, this message. It makes it sound like I'm saying my message is beautiful, but it doesn't feel like mine at all. At all. It always feels odd when people say they've come to see Lisa, or listen to Lisa. Thanks, Ramla. Much love. Just before we go on to the next question, I just have to pop to the toilet. Okay, just a quickie. If you're free of self in the awareness that you so beautifully describe, what becomes of desire, which presumably come from a sense of self? Does desire fall away and we become accepting of the totality of here and now and whatever circumstances we find ourselves in? I'd just like your perspective, Satya. Maybe off topic, but just now I have a thorn in my thumb. I experience discomfort, and so I suppose a degree of separation because I want the thorn out of my thumb. It seems impossible even with such a trivial example that I will become free of ego and ego perspective and agendas. Yes, Satya, you will never become free of ego. There can never be anybody that exists free of ego. There can never be anyone that's enlightened. There can never be anyone free. There can be a falling away of that one that believes that energy, that energetic contraction of separation, and then there's just life happening. And yes, desire does kind of dissolve mostly in it, the desire for happiness tomorrow, but then there is what's left is like a movement still towards pleasure. So there's still bonking and making love and preferring your partner to look a certain way, and there's still preference of cycling in the countryside rather to opposed to cycling next to the motorway, but it doesn't really matter. There's no strong agenda there. If you find yourself next to the motorway, then that's as divine, really. So the game no longer is important of getting pleasures and avoiding pain. There's no longer that drama, that stress that I've got to find my happiness in pleasure. So it's not quite, maybe saying desire or desireful way is not quite right. It's just that me dynamic that's looking for something in the future. But then in the moment, the body naturally moves towards pleasure as opposed to pain. And the pleasure will be different depending on each body-mind mechanism and the programming of it. But it's not really that important. If it turns out you've got the Duff chocolate cake at the shop, then it doesn't really matter. I get lost looking at my dog sometimes. My dog. I'm her human. Okay? Is there anything you've got to say back to that, Satya? Chocolate cake would be nice, at least while it lasts. Yeah, chocolate cake can be nice. Actually, I prefer chocolate cookies over than chocolate cake. I always find it's very hard to get a good chocolate cake. I like it when the chocolate cake's very moist, and often people don't seem to manage to bake a moist chocolate cake. Very important information. Hello, Gad. Hello. If manifestation and a phenomenon is always in movement, what is... Is this a joke? Oh God, Gad, you're too clever for me. I don't know what you're talking about. Put it into simpler English, and I'll answer it. So I'll tell you something like, if manifestation and phenomenon is always in movement, what is... Take off the num. So phenomenon. Oh my goodness, Gad, I can't do. Okay, we'll try again. If manifestation and phenomenon... Oh, I can't say it now. You're going to have to put it into easier English for me. I know you're French and I'm English, but I still can't read that. Well, I can't... Nick, did you like the chocolate cake we had at Tim's? Very important spiritual question. I did, Nick, I did. But actually I only liked it with the yogurt. Without the yogurt, I would have found it a bit too dry. I'm often like that with the chocolate cake, but with the yogurt it was absolutely perfect. That was a really good combination. All of the food at Tim's that night was just amazing. Massy, because I took a piece of chocolate cake home, I think, and I didn't finish it. I think I gave it to Khaleesi because I finished the yogurt, I think, or I ate a bit with the yogurt and then I found it a bit dry. Hi, Lisa. Massy. Hi, Massy. Where are you from, Massy? Oh, the Netherlands. You're Dutch. How old are you, Massy? I get caught in this sometimes before I know it, I'm speaking to someone that's very young. Netherlands. There's an age limit on this, I'm joking. But I have before been speaking very hardcore non-duality to a 12-year-old and then they admit they're 12. Well, you're 23. Sorry, it looked like a school photo that you got on there. Okay. I have a question about relationships. After 3 years of isolated seeking of enlightenment, I have made myself available again for relationships. I am now in relationship for 3 months and I'm doubting whether this form of relationship is best for her and myself. I have difficulty in finding the balance between being her boyfriend and telling her when she is creating suffering for herself, the role of a teacher. Before we were just friends and this balance was healthier and more stable. Now I'm always concerned with how to communicate with her without triggering her ego pain body. And before I could be to the point when reflecting on her giving her feedback and she was more open to it. So now I'm doubting whether she should continue having this boyfriend-girlfriend. We should continue having this boyfriend-girlfriend relationship instead of being friends and being able to support each other better, even though I do love her very much. Hope you could comment on the question. Firstly, Massey, who is the one that could choose to be in the relationship or not? Who do you think could choose to coach her or help her or do any of that? Who is that? Who is choosing it all? There is never a problem here, Massey. It's only in time, in relationship with her. Right here, there's just relating. There's just speaking, coming out. There's saying your perspective or not saying your perspective. It only becomes a problem when the me looks at it in time. The me is examining it in time. This is what we're like in a relationship. This is good, this is bad, but this is where it's going. We don't know. This is what is, and this is freedom. So all of this stuff right here between you and her dissolves. Then there's just relating happening. And there might be pointing out things to her or not pointing out things to her, or kissing or not kissing, or being together or not being together. But this is where the juice is. Not in the me story about this. That's where all the drama and the complications and the suffering is. You'll never know what's happening. Nobody ever will. But the me, all this storytelling comes from the assumption that you choose. Who is the one choosing? Who? Well, it doesn't actually come from that, it all comes from nothing. But the mechanism which nothing is creating all the drama through is this one in time with choice and free will. You got anything to say back to that, Massey? You guys are slightly behind me, maybe a minute or so behind me, so I have to wait for the response. Which one's the real Lisa? The one you're watching now, or the one you're watching now? I love our nonsense conversation, Nick. Now I know you like the small boobies. I'm still doubting whether it's me or me. Which one's you or you? You are never found in a story. Ever. All this complicated thinking about your relationship with her and not with her, and how you are and how you're not with her. The freedom is here, always. And this is not knowing, this is saying things without knowing, just appearing. Whenever it's looked at from a story, it's always meing. And you can never know the me, because that would only ever be the me that knows it as well. There's just the collapse of that, and then there's just what is. There's messy fucking relationships appearing. And then that's kissing. You're never going to get out of pain. People are going to get angry with you because you didn't sweep the floor or whatever. Because you didn't put your dog on the lead. I got a real telling off for not having my dog on the lead this morning. I've been in this spiritual search for around 3 years, and I'm slowly realising the paradox that I can't be found and is existence itself. So I guess these questions and doubts still come from I identifying with me. Yeah. And it's not wrong in any way if that's what comes up, and then the me has a great drama trying to work itself out and trying to fix the problem, and it enjoys that while it's appearing. But suffering is only found in time. This right here is absolute freedom. You don't have to have a perfect relationship. You don't have to fix your relationship or work your relationship out. There is no relationship. Isn't that great? Okay, so Gad's simplified question from the phenomena and nominum. Phenomenon and nominum. What is the difference between phenomena and nominum? Okay, how something which is manifestation as me, can see the self. You what, Gad? How something which is manifestation as me can see the self. You can't see the self, Gad. There just is self everywhere. There just is aliveness, beingness everywhere, and you will never see it. As soon as you see it, it's limiting it to one thing, and it's not it. It's nothing and everything. It's everything that appears, and it's no one thing. As soon as you see something, then you're limiting it. The you limits. When the you falls, there's just what is, but no one knows that. No one sees it, no one experiences it, there's just what is. Very simple. Your questions are very complicated though, but I find them very amusing. Oh dear. Ramana says, does he now? Sir Bhagavan. The Guru is a very powerful aid on the path. Yes, she is. But your effort is also essential. Yes, it is. It is you who sees the sun. Can your spectacles do it for you? Do you have to see your true nature? I don't think we're talking about the same thing. Because if you see it, then I'm not talking about the same thing. It's what is, and you can't see it because that becomes one thing. As soon as you see it, it's not it because it's become a thing. It's nothing and everything, and it's always it. Everything. Always it. That's the love affair, and it comes from absolute meaningless, pointless nothingness. It comes from nowhere and is everything. That's the freedom. I don't know what this stuff is. Oh yes, the Guru is great. There is no Guru. In it, the seeker of your efforts. There is no seeker of your efforts. There is no seeker who's got efforts. There is no two, just one. So who sees? No one. No one sees, Gad. But you won't get that. It's the way it is. Right now, nothing is. There is nothing and everything. You can't even say the seeing, because the objects and the seeing can't be separated. Oh my goodness, this is such love. The objects and the seeing cannot be separated out, so there can't be a seeing. But it's nothing and everything. Right? It's here. It's so obvious and so simple. There isn't someone seeing. Someone can only be in description in time, which can't be a reality. It arises in this. It's not describing this. How can tiny, inky little bits of words describe this? And fuck the Guru is a powerful aid on this path. Fuck that. There is no powerful aid on this path. That's just a. Then the Guru becomes important, and then there's addiction to the Guru, and the Guru has all the power, and the Guru is it. The Guru isn't an aid. There is no Guru here. There's sounds happening. It doesn't belong to a Lisa or a Guru. That's all bullshit. It's appearing in this. There's no separation. So many people that speak about this are trying to make something special, themselves or the seeker. There is no specialness, there is no better. The piece of shit is also the Guru. The watch. This. Okay, Patrick, Karen is coming in on the call. Just to let you know, you're being joined. So it's not very good streaming today. I think actually there is a problem with our internet here. It's quite funny. We've got unlimited internet, which is limited. It's quite funny, isn't it? God, I have so many friends. There you are, Karen. You should be being called now, Karen, if you can hear me.
Hi there.
Hey, Karen. Yeah, I don't think the streaming's very good from here. We've got unlimited internet, which is limited. It calls itself unlimited, but limited for a family or something. So I think we're at the end, coming to the end of the month, so it's getting quite slow.
Okay, yeah, same thing happened here.
Oh yeah, that's quite funny. They sell it as unlimited, but it's limited. It's fun. Okay, so if you've got a question, just send me a message because I'm gonna put you onto silence now.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thanks, Karen. Let me just go back to bed. Mine's still trying to find a way. Oh, bless it. That's what it does. It's looking for something. It'll never get there. It'll never find it. It's looking. Somehow I feel very disappointed with what I found. I thought that I would recognize my true nature, all suffering would end, but it is not. And there are times, very few, in which the identification is gone and everything is wonderful. Absolute release. Nothing to do, no place to go, just be. But there are times there is suffering and discomfort as ever. The only thing that has changed is that is known that it's all part of the same. Even if I am disappointed and frustrated, that is too. And the worst is that now the me knows there is no illumination more to look for. In such times it's horrible, nothing will remove that suffering. Haha. But that also is. It's just crazy, but who would go mad? Yeah. So there's seemingly in the story the energy of the me can seemingly fizzle out over time, and in some it just stops. But at the same time, none of this is also happening, Lotus, and that's not true, what you've said. I know it came out and it feels true in this moment, but there's also not been someone that's been suffering and it's been horrible and it's been crazy for. But it appears, and therefore because it appears, that is absolutely divine what was said. But just pointing to the fact that this repeating of who you are and where you've been and what you've done and what you've experienced is part of staying in that story of me, and it gives certain experiences. Is that you that loves Clara? So Julie says, hi, I'm chatting with Clara as you are speaking and she cannot get you to talk on her computer. She just said to ask you this, Clara. God, I love her. Is that you, Julie? She's so cute. So funny, Clara, I've been thinking about you the last couple of days. Can you tell her this, Julie? I keep meaning to send you an email and find out how everything's going in Kopanyang. Sawadika. Okay, and ask her if she exists. I think me and Clara went over this so many times. No. I answered, Julie. Did you not hear? It was quite quick. Tell her the answer seems to change since the last time she asks. I give her a big, big hug. Tell her she can call on you on Skype if she wants to. I know the internet's quite slow there. Although I don't know if there's that much time left. The connection is fine from here, but missed most of the talk. So get you on recording. It's not lost in your lost program, it's recorded. So we think. Okay, Cedric, would you say that thoughts and feelings are just objects like your chair? Yes. Just different energy expressing differently. Do the beliefs and assumptions are because of people? No, not necessarily. Beliefs and assumptions can arise for nobody. Still. But there's no one there claiming onto them anymore. Before, the me was full of beliefs and assumptions. Ha ha ha. Wash your mouth. Oops, what did I say? Did I say fuck? I like the way the English say fuck. It sounds nice. Oh. So, Massey, sorry, I missed this. There is no relationship, so I can hang around several women. Joke. Thank you very much. Oh yes, Massey. Life becomes very interesting when it doesn't belong to you anymore. I would suggest that more than likely will happen if you're a young man. Maybe if you're older you couldn't be asked. I guess we all just want to be happy. Just looking in the wrong places. Zen says when eating cake, eat cake or cookies, then move on. Yep, it's all about what's appearing. Most spirituality, though, is always telling you how to be good, what you should do, what you should be. And I hope in talking about the me dynamic, that's not what it sounds like. Most people hear this and think that I'm saying you should be what non-duality or you should not have a me. I'm just pointing it out. And if that falls, that falls. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Ultimately, it's all a return home. And it's never really happening. Oh God. So you're going to say some more Satya? Nope. Yep. Nope. My dog's sleeping and she keeps stretching her paws out, even though she's asleep. And she's snoring a little. Very so often her paws just go. It's in all of it, the detail. Satya says, oh fuck. Is that you trying to get me to say fuck again? Or you're just like, oh fuck, I can really hear what she's saying. I'm fucked. Well, do we have any more on here? Ashbourne asks if I read many spiritual books or watch other non-duality teachers. Not really. If they're a nice hot young man, maybe I do, but... And then, have you watched Home Alone? What do you think about Home Alone? What, the TV show? No, the film? What are your thoughts on the recent Home Alone reboot, Home Alone, the holiday heist? I don't know what you're talking about. Well, any more questions? Oh, we've got another one on there. So Satya says, yes, a trap. Bye, thanks, take care. Take much care, Lisa. Thanks, Satya. So TJ M says, my cat loves this message. TJ Mud says, are you still with Laurent, Lisa? I'm with everybody, TJ. Everybody. You think I'm so innocent and sweet? It's a piece of cake. Alright, my loves. Well, I'm going to stop the record and then maybe I'm going to play some spiritual music just to see us out. Oh gosh, look, you can still see my bed. Clara! Okay. No, keep talking. I've got nothing left to say and there's no more questions. We lucked out on the weather at Stand. It's cold, rainy and windy here now. Oh yeah, we did. That was so nice. It was lovely. That was only last weekend. Music time, hurry up. Oh no. Music time, hooray. Okay, so we stop.